Okay, now this is an interesting topic because, look, daydreaming is something that's vital to your acting. You can use daydreams to build chemistry in your acting. It's just a fact. It's an absolute fact. If you practice working with your imagination to build that chemistry in relationships. So how do you have an instant chemistry with somebody in an audition or in an acting situation when you don't really spend time with them? Well, you can go into incredible daydreams. Incredible daydreams. And I don't mean rude things. I mean like incredible daydreams. You can work within elements within yourself and notice things about the other person that would be believable to you. Now, let's say you notice some traits in the other actor, and this is your first week working with them, and you need to build up a brother-sister relationship with them. Are you willing to sit and study them? Are you willing to write down things that you think that you could be believable? Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be accurate, although you probably will be, but I'm saying that the point of this is to be able to gain the ability to start building that chemistry up. So you give yourself the creative license to not worry about trying to truth find the other actor or ask them personal questions or any of that nonsense. You don't need to do that. That's not the thing that you necessarily have to do. You can literally use daydreaming to be able to build up a fantasy world that's real that you can actually then be able to include in your acting. So you don't have to ask personal questions of stars that you're working with or any of this other stuff. You don't need to, because you can build up a fantasy world, or you can build up an imagination or a daydreaming. And you can then do that to be able to decide and determine your acting choices. Now, this is very real. People do this stuff on Broadway, off Broadway. This is absolutely a viable exercise. Now, not a lot of everybody's thought of it. Not people think, well, you know, you can't. I mean, how do you can't just make stuff up? Well, hold on a second. We're acting. This isn't about trying to go through every single person's whatever it is and try and get information about it. It's not about that. You don't need to go there. You need to be able to vividly connect things that are believable to you in your imaginary world, right? So if you're a brother and sister relationship, are you capable of having daydreams about arguments that you've had? Are you capable of having daydreams about seeing your parents break up? Hi, can you do me a favor so I can do you a favor? I know a lot about acting, and I need really good acting questions. Don't be nervous if they're not as good as they need to be. Just submit them. One comment per entry. And then I'll be able to look at this, sort it out, and get back to you some really good, solid acting answers that you can consider so that you can build your own acting technique. I don't want to affect it in any way that harms it. All I want to do is make sure that you have every single tool that you can in your actor's toolbox, that you can then access yourself to be able to get those emotions and put those into your work, right into your imaginary circumstances. Are you capable of having daydreams of finding out the news that your father's passed away? Now, these are realistic These are things that are difficult. These are difficult things to daydream about. They're personal things, and you can then start to build up that chemistry. Now let me tell you how real this actually is, right? So we're understanding that we're working with creative license, right? Now, if you get the chance to work with the stars or leads or personally with the people that maybe are in your classroom, you could then maybe suggest to them, hey, listen, can we do improvisation with this relationship setup, right? You might be able to work to be able to set up an arguments. And what you want to do is you want to set up like 8 or 10, or even maybe you only have time to set up 2. And you work to be able to set up these improvisations where you have disagreements, where your real personalities are just going to start coming out on each other, right? Sounds like fun, right? It can be exhausting, because you're literally having to, now all of a sudden you've got this weight that you find within yourself, that you've got this sister or you've got this brother, and maybe you find that, you know, you like the person as an actor, but man, there's like some stuff like, you know, maybe you just aren't comfortable with the whole thing, or maybe there's things that you like or dislike about the person. These are the kinds of things that we're looking to do. This is the kind of element that we're looking to be able to mine. We're looking to be able to get this kind of chemistry going. This is the difference between, you see, your active daydreaming might be the thing that is able to catalyze a actual spark of actual relation in your scenes. Well, whether it be you're rehearsing, or whether or not you're just starting filming, and maybe you got like 3 takes done already, and you're capable of having these daydreams about these individuals that are in their relationships with you. And all of a sudden you can develop this incredible inner dynamic, this incredible inner life, this incredible emotional life, where you've daydreamed your way into building up chemistry with that person. Even though, honestly, you've only seen them like 6 times, you might have seen 1 or 2 of their shows or whatever. And this is the key. This is the key. This could be the key to you being able to put chemistry in your acting. Now, of course, what you want to do is do stuff that's like normally you would want to be able to daydream stuff that would be able to fit within the scripted material, right? Or you can do this with improvisations, and you can also do this with, well, you can do this with a lot of things, particularizations, all kinds of things. But the thing is, you can do this with speeches, you can do this with all kinds of stuff. You can work to be able to build out the script. Now we know that the writer's script is the writer's script, right? The writer's script is the writer's script. We're respecting the writer's work. We are absolutely having respect for it. This is the reason why we use most of their words when we're working with it. This is the reason why we're working with the writer's ideas, etc., right? And they are trusting you as the actor to be able to semi or fully represent the intention of the script. But that being said, you have absolute creative permission to work on a daydream of stuff that would fit within the script. So let's say when you're brother and sister, all of a sudden you remember, I don't know, I mean, it could be anything. And I really mean, it could be a lot of things. I mean, you could be remembering one time when, I know, you turned, whatever, 19, 20 years old, and you're given a car for your birthday or something, right? Something like that. Now, you're working with that element, and you're having an added daydream about being given a car, right? From your imaginary mother, and from your imaginary sister. And you can work to remember how your imaginary sister actually sacrificed part of her job. She worked hard to be able to help you get a car, because they knew that you getting a car was going to help you, or it was a small truck or whatever, some vehicle, so that you could actually be able to get and start, with some kind of endeavor that you're looking at, or whatever the case is, right? And you craft this imagination up, and you craft so that this is an ability for you to then, it fits within the material. This is very confusing. Could you help me out to help you out? I mean, this is very odd, but the reality is, all I'm asking is I'm asking for you to ask me really good acting questions. Really good acting questions. Now, don't worry if they're not too good. Just submit what you have. Ask questions, because you never know. I have studied so much, and I'd be more than happy to tell you what I think you need to be able to know to unhinge the access that you need to be able to access your own talent. You work so that it fits within the material. So you're honoring the writer, and you're having a daydream that builds up the chemistry. Now, what you can also do, and be very clear with me in comments. I'm very open to different ideas. I have seen so much work. And the thing is that you look at this, and you can also do this with improvisations. So let's say you're capable of working with this star or whoever it is. It doesn't make any difference if they're a star or not. What you want to do is good work. You want to do good acting. So if you are in a situation where you can do improvisations with your co-stars, you might design a scene that you work at, that's an acting exercise that has that exact criteria, where they're like improvisation, the fact that there's a memory, and there's a memory of how much that meant to be able to get that vehicle so that you can move on with your life when you're 19, 20. And the fact that your sister actually went and dedicated part of like her own income to be able to help pay for that car with your mother after your father had died. Now, this is something that absolutely is something that's viable. This is something that will then add chemistry to your acting. So I hope this helps. Like and share this video. Please share it. Ask your friends, look, is this guy crazy, or does he know what he's talking about? Ask them, I don't mind. Just work with the ability to be able to design your own talent. I'm not interested in egos in the acting industry. I've seen too much of it. I don't care. I've seen egos within the executive communities, within the studios, etc. I don't need any of the nonsense. I'm not interested in any of the politics or whatever you want to call it. But the thing is what I'm interested in seeing, and what I'm interested in helping you do, is I'm interested in getting you to be able to help develop your own self and your own technique. So you obviously, just one last quick note on emotional preparation. You obviously work with emotional preparation already with daydreams and with different things and remembering real life, etc., etc. So this is an extension of that. This is an extension of being able to, and then when you're working on those improvisations, when you're working on those daydreams, it's vital. You can absolutely sit down with yourself with a pen and a paper if you need to, and you can sit down and you can write a letter of thanks to your sister who you're doing the script with. Now, this would be something that you would sit down and you do you activate your emotion of thankfulness to your sister. You activate the element of emotion. You work with that emotion getting activated, and then you sit down and you write the letter of thanks. And you could even give it to her if you wanted to. That's up to you. I mean, it's really your acting exercise, so probably just keep the letter sideways, or aside. But the thing is you're working so that you can actually find different things and different ways to express the emotion that you've emotionally stimulated, right? And this is absolute key. So work with this. Let me know how this works for you. And I know it does work, and I've seen it work. And I think it's very important that everybody has access to the information to know that that's something that's viable for their acting. Helping you find the emotions that I know that are there inside of yourself, activate those, and then be able to put those into your acting is what I am all about. I think it's fantastic. I think it's very, very interesting. And I think it's not being done enough in acting. So if you would, submit questions to me so I can actually help you to develop your own acting technique. Personalize your own acting technique so that you can have this journey, an experience within the imaginary circumstances that you leap yourself into. And then all of a sudden you can have expanded, beautiful, absolutely emotionally rich exercises. And it's absolutely doable. You can fully do it.